Good day, friends. I hope you're doing really well. This is Tracy Brown, and my team and I of trauma-informed non-diet dietitians provide nutrition counseling and education and hope to help people have a peaceful relationship with food and body and feel more comfortable in the skin you're in. So this video might not make perfect sense, or if you haven't watched earlier this week's video when we talked about it is totally part of the mind control programming to make you feel and think that if you gain weight, that's the worst thing could ever happen to you. So I don't want anybody to be surprised if they're going through some kind of recovery non-diet journey, that when they start to do the right thing, you feel bad, and that's by design, okay? So if you haven't watched that video, today's might not make as much sense, but I think it could also stand alone just as encouragement. So here we go. At the end of the day, that programming is there to make you think that weight gain makes all the problems go away, or at least you have one thing. And, if weight loss will, if weight loss, at least you have one thing that people can't criticize you about. And maybe you're thinking, or maybe you've been programmed to think that this will protect you, from never feeling bad, right? That's the programming. And if weight gain is the opposite, the whole point of all this is to keep you scared and compliant. Because if you're a person who is really well fed and grounded in your life and who you are and what's yours to do, some positive stuff is going to happen in the world, and you're not really all that controllable, to be honest. So what do we do? What do we do to get ourselves out of that? Well, I just want to offer you one piece of something to try, is that we need something that reminds us of our reality, all right? So the year is 2000, whatever you're watching this video. And even if it's scary, you do have a say. You do have a say, and what your needs are really do matter, all right? So you want to be able to look around you in your environment, just reminding yourself of the date, of some of the things that you've done that have been a challenge in your life that you grew some confidence and mastery in just because of the experience in itself, not because other people told you you were so great, or, because maybe you got no feedback at all, but you did it because you knew it was the thing that needed to be done, or you're interested in it, but it's still not your identity, but it gives you something else, knowing that I can do hard, scary things, and honestly, I'm more than the size of my body. We want things that help you be reminded of that. So for example, I can look out this window, and if I were to go outside and put my back against one of the biggest trees I see, I know when I sit on the ground and my back's up against that tree, I don't have to earn this tree holding me up. I don't have to be thinner. I don't have to be bigger. This tree is just doing what this tree does, is stand tall and be solid and be in the ground. And I can have a relationship with that teaches me wow, I don't have to perform all the time. I don't have to look a certain way, eat a certain way, to have something have my back. All right. So it's just really important that you have things like that in your daily life that remind you of just some simple truths, that no matter what your size is, that you deserve to be treated with dignity and respect, that shaming you for your own good to get you to do something, even if it's good for you, isn't helpful and probably not that productive and going to work. And that the idea that you have to look a certain way to have love, or a purpose, or to belong, that's just marketing. Because you could probably open your eyes a little bit wider and look a little bit more outside from the blinders of diet culture and see there are people of all ages and shapes and sizes doing stuff and having people relate to them in a positive way. And it's not all that performative, because you and I know that we've been in situations where we've hung out with a really good friend or somebody in our community that does something that we just like listening to them or being in their presence, or we're kind of just respect how they do things or treat people or whatever. And you'll notice. Noticing is different than judging. You can notice for a half of a second what they look like, how they're aging, whatever. but that doesn't keep you sticking around them. So why would that be different for you? All right. Now, again, I know that everything's on a spectrum, and there are just going to be people there around that have so much of their own fear programming and their own hurt that they end up projecting. We know that's going to happen, but we don't want to let those moments, again, define how you're supposed to live, how you're supposed to eat, how you're supposed to walk in the world, despite the fact that it is exhausting and it's frustrating and it's disheartening, and it gets old. I think in those moments we acknowledge just that's the programming. That is the result of whether it's people close to you, people that are complete strangers, whoever triggers us. To be honest, you want to be really clear about that and hold on to what is good. So if you feel like you have some safety in closer relationships, that's your anchor then to, like, if other people say like heinous stuff, just because they're doing it doesn't mean you have to believe it about yourself in exchange for belonging with them. That's just high school. We don't want to do that, right? We're not there anymore. We have other mental and emotional ways to be able to learn how to be with people that it's good for us to belong to, if it's not just our family. If it's the opposite, if you're finding that people out in the world feel safer than our own kin, I think that's really important to acknowledge. Like, how do I bring that here to this situation where it's like, I know that even if this isn't ideal, this isn't all there is. All right. So either way it goes, that's something for you to think about. That's just one example and strategy. So my challenge to you all watching this video is, what can you hold on to that's real in this very day, this month, this hour, this year, that you can grab onto, that's like, oh, this has got my back. This is real. I don't need to perform for this or be a body size for this to, I can be in a relationship with this and this doesn't hurt me. It's not all bad, because sometimes when we get in this situation where other people are saying diet culture stuff and you're like, oh man, ugh, in this moment, we can feel the disappointment of that, but unblend from it. And what are we holding on to help us stay unblended, stay in your own, basically, lane? Like, I know how I need to eat. I know the meal mix that feels best to me. I know my body well enough to know, like, when, move less, move more, nothing at all. I know all those truths about myself, no matter what other people say. When you're able to do that, I think you're going to find that you're breaking the programming and you're just a lot less triggerable. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I've got some other good stuff coming for this summer. So I hope you enjoy that. And anyway, in the comments below, if you felt that was helpful, I'd love to hear about it. And if you feel like somebody needs to hear this information because they've never heard it before and they don't know they have an option, I appreciate that too. So thank you so much. Talk to y'all soon. Bye.